I specialise in Japanese cinema, and the focus of my thesis is a very obscure mode of kind of do-it-yourself film production that occurred in Japan, first sort of emerged kind of in the 70s and 80s, called Jishu Eiga, meaning kind of like self-made films. This was typically done by like high school and university students using sort of Super 8 or sometimes 16mm to make kind of short and feature-length films kind of on their terms. Also, a lot of the filmmakers who were operating at that time have now actually gone on to be quite well known in Japanese cinema. So names such as Sono Shion or Kurosawa Kiyoshi, Sukamoto Shinya, these are kind of filmmakers who are now fairly well known in sort of the international film scene, but kind of started out from these kind of embryonic, humble kind of beginnings. So it's kind of interesting going back to their early works. I enjoy studying at the University of Reading, well, first of all, because of the campus. It's a very nice, open, kind of green space. You can spend hours just kind of wandering around. But I also really love the Department of Film Theatre and Television. It's a very, it being a very sort of interdisciplinary environment, it's very sort of stimulating. Every time I'm in, there's always something going on, and it's good to be part of that. The graduate school's been very helpful, certainly when it comes to preparing me to teach. They offer a 2-day course in sort of getting your head around the basics of going into teaching, and as a result of that, teaching opportunities have kind of presented themselves in my department, which I've enjoyed getting involved with. Starting out can be quite a daunting thing because you're not fully familiar with your field. You've got to sort of read up on a lot of stuff. You've got to sort of you've got to get a lay of the land, and that can be quite a daunting prospect at first. But the reason I say persevere is because every day you'll learn something new, and before you even realize it, you'll be an expert before you even realize you'll be an expert, and then soon people will be sort of coming to you wanting to know about the subject. One recent highlight has been getting some funding from 2 organisations. There's the British Association for Japanese Studies and the Great Britain Sasakawa Foundation. They've been very generous in supplying me with some grant money, which I'll be using to go to Japan this summer to conduct fieldworks. That fieldwork will consist of routing around kind of various archives and any other kind of organisations really that were kind of dedicated to the preservation of this particular kind of era of film production. And being a sort of self-funded part-time student, that wouldn't be possible without their help. So I'm very grateful for that.